Okay. Drink a coffee. Alright, so after like 3 months, I'm finally going to sit down and do the thumbnails for the illustrations from Witchtober. I will link in the description or a card or something at the end of the video so you guys can go see the flip throughs of all of the sketches that I did. But today we're going to start with, we're probably just going to do these in order. So today we're going to start doing the illustration for the very first winner from week 1, which was Sleepy and Beverage, which is this one. Okay, so my mission here is to take some concepts from this page full of scribbly gook and do a bunch of thumbnails and kind of flesh out the character more so that I can then transfer whatever thumbnails or chosen design onto probably this stuff, but essentially so I can put it in a larger format and try to paint it so I can have like a finished product. This is largely for the sake of this is how I chose to do Witchtober instead of trying to do a full ink drawing every day of the month, or instead of trying to do a full illustration. I took the pressure off by doing it this way, and now it's time to take these really cool ideas that I like and turn them into real like finished works. I think also it's a cool idea because it shows you guys some of my process of like scribbling random ideas. I've just recently adopted the idea of doing thumbnails for personal work. I've done it in my graphic design classes, but I've never really done it for drawings. So that'll be an interesting process. Oh, I should have grabbed a picture of her. I also wanted to take this character and make it look like a friend of mine because she's adorable and I thought that would be really fun. But I really like the sleepy witch lady stirring her coffee and half of it's spilling out, and I was kind of going for more of like a Stevie Nicks witchy boho vibe with this one. So we'll see if we stick with that, but probably because, I don't know, it was just cute. So I'm going to start just scribbling up some ideas and try to get like a solid idea of what the character and the outfit is going to look like. And then I'll start thumbnailing some poses and stuff. good at this. These don't look like the same person at all. Boy, that's rough. Okay, so that's like an alternative idea, and I might just draw her something like that for fun. But I think for the witch theme that I'm trying to go with, this might just make more sense. But I'll come up with something between these and then put it in there. So this is going to be the end of today's thumbnails. And then I will go through and bring you guys along. I'll probably just speed through it instead of talking to you guys. But eventually I will sketch this up on the good paper. And then the next leg after I do the sketch will be actually painting it with watercolors. And because of the timing of this, since I'm going to record all of this process first before I get to the painting, I'll probably even get to paint it in with my fancy paints. Because I did order a set of Schminke paints that are like my birthday Christmas gift, since my birthday is 2 days after Christmas. I'm not allowed to open them yet, but I'm pretty excited. So it'll be cool to be able to like do this with the good stuff. So the second winner, or the winner of week 2, I guess, was Healing and Steampunk. So I did this guy, girl, person, and I had originally done this one and it was cool, but more Lolita than steampunk. And then I kind of just went for it, and I'm very happy with this. So I'm going to try and turn this into like a couple of sketches to kind of nail down what the character looks like, and then try to do a few thumbnails of what I want the actual painting to look like. But this is kind of my concept for healing and steampunk. I really like the her standing here and the water arcing over the top, water potion, whatever's in the bottle, kind of arcing over the top of her. And because it's a potion and it's magic, I can make it whatever obnoxious color I want. Because typically, steampunk as a fashion tends to be a lot of neutrals. It's a lot of browns and earthy tones and very, I don't know, in my head it's almost like they're trying to walk out of a sepia old time photo and just be like, oh yeah, this is just, I'm pretty sure back in Victorian times they wore some obnoxious colors, like people of affluence wore like obnoxiously bright dyed colors, but like because all of the pictures are old and faded, we just don't know. Or I don't know, at least. I'm not an expert, I didn't research this. But for something like this, I could have most of it be tones of gray and brown, and then maybe have like the skirt be a bright color, and then have this potion be a bright color. I don't know why, but I envisioned her as a redhead. I'm not sure why, but like strawberry blonde, like a pastel ginger, if that makes any sense to anyone other than my family. But yeah, that's kind of my idea. So I already have like some ideas for colors for this, which is probably a really good place to start. So we are doing space and jewelry, which is this one. And the reason this one won out over this, which turned out so good, was just that I have a cool concept for how I want to paint it. The only thing is, this character or this face is not the one I'm going to use. So I can use whatever I want, I just want the jewelry. So I have to kind of, if I can find the page I was just on, I have to kind of come up with, what does it actually look like? And then I have to figure out how to paint Galaxy, because the concept makes sense to me, and all the videos, like I see why they're doing what they're doing, and then I try to replicate it and it just kind of comes out looking like blobs. I think that's it. Like, I'm sitting here trying to decipher like a different way I could approach this, because part of why I wanted to even show these sketches was to kind of show the process of how I go from rough pen sketch to expanding on that same idea. But I think this idea is already just so solid in my head that the only difference is how accurately I draw this elf. And some details like in her clothing or whatever, but like the concept of the planets and how she's standing is kind of, that's just kind of what it is. So this sketch process is going to be for paper and skull. This one. And this was one that had two completely different ideas, but when I came back and try to rework the concept. Like, I came back and I'm like, okay, well, this is a cute idea, but what is a different way I could do this and make it more magical, make it more mystical, if you will. Oh, was there paint on my desk? Ah, hell. Oh well. Mystic witch who's a little bit spookier. She's got skulls tied into her hair somehow, and I incorporated paper. She's got like a magical scroll, and the scroll is doing this whole wrapping around her, and it frames her. And I thought that would be a really cool concept. It is more up my alley. I didn't have the space I wanted, so I just kind of spat the idea out on the page instead of trying to really dig into it like I did with some others. So it'll be kind of fun to get to go back and dig into it here. Ooh, okay. So it's snowing here. And I've been recording these. There's supposed to be some kind of blizzard-esque ice storm coming through. And like 5 minutes ago, it was kind of snowing. And now all the cars in the parking lot are completely covered in snow. So that's exciting. Anyway. Yeah, something to that effect. I kind of like the over the shoulder. I think it's a little cheeky. I think it adds to the mysterious factor because you can't really see everything she's doing. You can't see the front of her, which is a little less fun to draw, but it adds more mystery to her intentions. I like that. So I would definitely have to, I'm going to write a note on here. Things I need to research to actually do this justice. What her nose looks like. Obi knots. Because I have a vague idea of what goes on back here, but usually I'm wearing the kimono, so I can't see the bow, and I try to tie it in like a bow, because I kind of know how to do that. I don't know how to do the traditional, like, it's a lump that folds over on a lump, which looks really beautiful and classic, but, like, I don't know, so I would just need a reference for that. Skulls. Traditional. also, I can't spell. I like traditional Japanese hairstyles. I have a vague understanding, again, but it's also been a long time, but I just want to make sure that I get the right shape for the buns and the right type of hair picks and combs and stuff, so that if I'm going to dip into this culture, I do it some form of justice. All right, so the oh, it's so full of size. So the last set of thumbnails that I really need to do to wrap up this whole project and get ready to start putting this on watercolor paper and then painting it is pirate and pumpkin. And if you remember from the flip throughs, this would be what I came up with. And it's a lot less scritchy, messy sketches because I had an idea, I thought it was dumb, and then I came up with a real idea and made a whole story for this one. So this one shouldn't be super hard to really put together. The only thing is I didn't have anything planned for the pose or how to display her. Like, I can see her moving in my mind, but I don't know what the painting's gonna look like. So this will probably be less figuring out who the character is and more what is this actual scene. So we will go back. Not that far. Nope, nope. Still nope. Cool. All right. So I think I'm gonna stop here just because I'm running out of ideas. I like the direction this is going in. I can kind of see it in my head, but I can't figure out how to like spit it onto one piece of paper. But just the general idea of her lounging in her quarters, and then she's all mysterious and spooky, and then just there happens to be a pumpkin for no one knows why. Because as my little note on the other page kind of states, she lives on a ship with a crew of men, and she's kind of a weather witch, so she has control over the tides and can fix the weather so that they have better sailing conditions and stuff. So like the crew doesn't mess with her because they kind of think of her as super powerful and almost godlike, because when you live your life out on the ocean, if you can control the ocean, like you control the world. So they have respect and they don't mess with her, but she just always has a pumpkin with her and no one really knows why, and it's super weird, and I have reasons why in my head, but like So I want to keep the pumpkin in the picture, but I like the idea in this one that it's just playing up the idea that, oh, also a pumpkin on a ship? Question mark? But like this one, she's kind of opening the pumpkin and there's like a bunch of light coming out of it. And I like that these ones are both kind of the similar idea of she's casting magic and the pumpkin is there because, spoiler alert, the pumpkin is her source of magic. It's like a wand, but pumpkin. And then I like this one is just like her standing there with it on her hip because that's a very easy way to carry something big and supposedly heavy. And I kind of like the cute idea of her sitting on a floating pumpkin, but kind of leaning towards this one. It has a better stance. It will have a lot of flowiness in it, and since she's supposed to be like on the ocean, it'll incorporate that kind of water aspect. And then I like to draw hair and fabric doing that anyway. So this is probably what I'm going to end up with, but we will see. So, so yeah, that concludes all of my sketches, or sketches into thumbnail. This is the thumbnail part of the process. Let's see if I can find the first one. So we had Sleepy and Beverage. And then Healing and Steampunk. And then Space and Jewelry, which I might need to rework just to make sure I get this really solidified. I mean, I guess to be fair, there's only 2 thumbnails because there's this pose and that pose, and this is the pose that works. I just gotta make decisions about what the face is gonna look like and stuff, so that should be fine. And then, this one's gonna be so fun. I do really like this over the shoulder one. So, and then we've got pumpkins. And that should be it. So then the next video that will come out of the series will be me just actually painting. I'm going to do the part where I put the drawing on paper off camera so that I can actually just do it. And then I will make sure to show you guys what it looks like before I erase all my lines and then paint it. But that's the plan. As I'm recording this, it's like the 3rd of January, so welcome to 2021. Hopefully it sucks so much less. I'm glad you guys are still here, and I'm excited to meet anyone new who drops by, shows up, whatever. All right.